Spread of Omicron variant comes during a really busy week of holiday travel. Some people are continuing on with those plans. Others may be pulling back and having second thoughts about getting on a plane right about now.
Yeah, I mean, joining us to talk more about this is Willis Orlando from Scott's Cheap's Flights, an agency that tracks flight information and alerts consumers. So, Willis, good to see you. Thanks for being here.
Morning.
So, Willis, what are you seeing? What are you seeing in terms of trends at the airports right now? Because a lot of people are fearful. They're saying, you know what, let's pull back. Have there been significant changes from consumers, or are people largely moving ahead with their plans?
Yeah, there's kind of a really big disconnect between what we're seeing in airports and what the news about Omicron is right now. Most folks are continuing to travel. We've seen 2 million plus people pass through TSA checkpoints each of the last 5 days. It does not seem to be slowing down. Folks who had their holiday plans are going ahead with them right now.
There's still a lot of uncertainty, though, as we dive into it. I mean, it really seems like a day-to-day decision. Am I going to do it or not? I had been looking ahead at booking for spring break, and I was struck by the fact that I was seeing the non-refundable fares show up again, because the airlines had been giving us that fully refundable in order to make us feel more comfortable in the space. What's going on there now?
Yeah, so if you're looking for tickets, especially in 2022, you have to be aware of airline policies. All major airlines now are waiving change fees, but you have to book above basic economy class. It's not that bottom of the barrel ticket. Usually you can still get a pretty good deal on those things, maybe 30 or 60 bucks more than the regular ticket, but make sure you book that changeable ticket if you're booking for 2022, especially the early months.
So here's the thing, right? So what if you test positive? And that's why you aren't flying, right? Does that change anything in terms of getting money back for trips that you've already booked?
You're generally not going to get a refund if you test positive before your flight, but airlines have been really good at working with folks with documentation on changing their flights to a different date. So that might not help you because you're going to go home and see mom and dad for the holidays. You don't want to go and see them in January, but at least you won't be out your money. You'll get to take your trip anyway eventually.
All right, so Willis, you said that you've got to be really mindful of exactly what that fare is that you're buying as far as if it's refundable or not. But let's talk about everything else, like the car, the excursions, the hotel. How do you plan a trip in the future when we keep seeing these variants pop up?
Yeah, the biggest thing we say is, hey, look for flexibility. Most platforms now, if you're going on booking.com, Airbnb, what have you, they'll have a little tick box. You can say cancellation flexibility. Add that into your planning. I've got 2 trips planned for early 2022. I made sure everything is fully refundable because I said, hey, I want to go. I want to feel optimistic about it.
What does that cost?
I'm vaccinated, but I don't know.
What's that cost to add that option?
All that flexibility.
It really depends. Some are building it right into the price. Other times you'll have maybe a 5% premium onto the price. It really depends on the accommodation or the car rental.
Right, but I was reading the other day that, to Kirsten's point, what she was saying, that some, when you buy the trip insurance, that a lot of that trip insurance is only covering some of it now, a quarter or to half, depending on the airline. Why?
Yeah, trip insurance is a real tricky situation right now, and it's not something we universally recommend, especially those ones that are on the airline websites. A lot of them actually have carve-outs where they do not cover things in case of a pandemic. Hey, guess what? We're in a pandemic.
Yeah, but that's a change, right? That's a change because I don't know if you in particular, but was always like, get the trip insurance. You won't regret it.
Right, because if you're sick, then you can take advantage of the insurance and get your money back.
Yeah, that always was the case in the past, but these days things have changed. There are new insurance policies that have popped up that say, hey, cancel for any reason, and they're now covering COVID-related concerns.
Are they more expensive?
But otherwise, make sure you read that fine print. It depends. They're harder to find. But the airlines will always put one up right on their website and say, hey, book this trip insurance. Read that fine print first. Don't just click OK and move on.
This is one of those things where you can't have, like with the app, when you buy an app and you're just like, yes, agree.
Exactly.
You actually need to read it.
All right, Willis. Hey, Willis, appreciate this. Was great information. Scott's Cheap's Flights. Appreciate you being here this morning to talk us all through this. Have a great holiday if we don't talk to you.
You too. Happy holidays.
Hope you get to take your trips in 2022,
and
by
it's
the way.
nice to think about traveling.
You too.
Hold on, I'm trying to tell him to have a good trip.
He did.
Listen, I'm going to have a
told
good
her.
trip.
Have a good trip, Willis.